Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Beth. I am a homeschooler and childminder and mum in Suffolk in the UK. And yes, once again, I am sat outside Starbucks. This is where I like to do my videos. Like, I think of them, and then when I get this time to myself, I'm like, now is a really good opportunity for me to make the video. So today I thought I'd do a little video about summer activities, cheap summer activities, because we all know, you know, even if you're loaded, like every day, finding activities for your children is expensive. So unless you're a millionaire, you probably might want to watch this. So I, as you know, I'm a childminder. And when I do childminding, it's obviously very structured, very organised. We have quite a routine, and I feel that kind of works best for everyone, myself included. I love a routine, but obviously when it's just my own children, like, I do things differently. It's not so structured. It's not like a work day, you know. You don't want it to be like that. However, what I have found really useful is having some activities either just in the back of my mind to use if we need them, or set up purposely for them. What I find works really well is setting activities up in the morning. So like, you might hear a lot of people, particularly homeschoolers, talk about a morning basket. It's essentially like meant to be like an activity that you set up in the morning, and it's just there. And if the children want to play with it, great. And if they don't, then that's fine. It's just something there if they need it or want it. So I'm going to show you some activities that I have used before, that are pretty cheap. Like, lots of them are free. All of them are under £5, apart from a Hama bead one, which I will explain as you will see. But I hope that you like them. I hope that you find them interesting and helpful. They're just things that I've tried and tested over the years, and things that I have found really useful. I like to do activities, you know, sometimes it's great to do activities with the children. I also like to do lots of activities where they can just do it on their own. For childminding, what I've done for this summer, and I do this for my own children anyway, is I have gone onto Temu and I have bought a whole box full of fun. Now often I go on to Baker Ross and do this as well, because they're really good for craft kits, but you know how cheap Temu is. It hasn't arrived yet, so when it does, I'll obviously do a Temu haul. But I've got things like, so I've got these amazing pens which I would massively suggest getting. They're called Posca pens. They're currently on offer for £12 in Tesco, and they're like, I think they're acrylic pens, so they can go on glass, wood, all that kind of things. They are used so much. We get like old jars, you know, I wash the label off, and then they paint them. And what we did last year is they then put them into the front like pathway and sold them, and they made £13.50 over the summer, which obviously they thought was really exciting. But you could, you know, put anything in them. You could give them as gifts, you could use them as candle holders. I think there's like, you have to see which ones can actually hold the heat of a candle, because there's certain types, but I think most of the food ones are fine because they've been heated to a certain temperature. But you'd better check that. But also you can just get like those pretend like battery candles, and you can put those in there, and that's been really good. So what I've also got from Temu, because I've got these amazing pens, is loads of like wooden things. I've got wooden stars, I think I've got wooden bookmarks, I've got lots of scratch art stuff, I've got some, what's it called, you know, that the sequin thing where you get the little pen and you dip it into the sequin and stick like sequin art. What's it called? Is it crystal art? I think it's crystal art. I've got some of those. I've got like a ball with a like ribbon type thing on it, which I think will be really fun for throwing and catching, and I'll obviously show you the rest when it gets here. There's loads of really fun things in there, and it's always nice and exciting to have some extra and new toys for the summer holidays. But as I say, I hope you enjoy these tips. They have saved my sanity many a time. So to start with, here is some nail varnish sticks. Now this is to save children painting their nails over and over again. We bought these nail varnish sticks for £3.99 from Amazon, and they were brilliant. You can't really reuse them. Like, I've tried to take it off with nail varnish remover, it doesn't really work, but that has provided hours of fun. Next, what about making Play-Doh? So you can literally just make some kind of like Play-Doh type mixture with flour and water. That's all you need. Bit of plain flour, bit of water. Really cheap. If you then wanted to add cream of tartar and all of that kind of thing to make it proper Play-Doh, which lasts a bit longer, and salt obviously, then you could do that too. I've got a brilliant recipe that I found, which I will put in the description box. Next is the internet. The internet is amazing. You can get some really good free games. If you just type in free online games for kids, it will come up with some great games like Fireboy and Water Girl. That's a 1 or 2 player game. If you've got a Twinkle subscription like I have, there are loads of great games on there too. But you know, none of us want our kids to be on screens loads, but it's also been really good, certainly for my younger children, to be able to learn to use a computer well. So I think that sometimes it's a really good skill to use. Oh my goodness, one of the best apps we found last year, the Brick It app. So basically you lay out your Lego on the floor, take a picture of it, and then it gives you ideas of things you can make with instructions. It's a free app, and it is absolutely brilliant. These are some of the things that we made in just one afternoon. We had great fun. Sometimes ours hasn't got the colours quite so right, but I guess if you're in a really well lit space that would work. But do you know what, it doesn't really matter, and that has been one of the best things we've found this year. Do you know what? Just getting the kids involved in day-to-day activities is brilliant. This was on pancake day, this one, and they were cutting up the fruit to go on top of the pancakes, and they loved this. They were there for hours cutting up the strawberries and the grapes, and they love just getting involved in day-to-day activities. Now, I've got to say, when I'm actually in the process of cooking dinner, I just want to get it done. But what I have done is often in the day got them to prepare part of dinner, like the vegetables or something like that. The mud kitchen. Now, I know not everyone has a mud kitchen, but even if you have a small space in outside somewhere, you have a few pots and pans, you can literally use anything. We often like to go for a walk on the local common, pick little things, you know, if there's any blackberries or like nice leaves, maybe some like flowers on the bushes, pick them, come back, make up some kind of concoction. They love it. As you can see here, I've got lots of like the soap bottles. Often if they've got a little bit of soap left that you can't really get out, put like an inch of water in there, shake it, and it's like foam when they squirt it out. They love that. Or I get a jar of coffee for 99p, and they love using that. Or there's some shampoo there, which is also 99p. But as I say, you don't even have to buy anything. You can literally just like get grass and daisies and whatever you can find in the garden, and they just love to mix it. Here we're doing building towers from cocktail sticks and marshmallows. Another activity under what, £4, under £3 maybe. Depends how cheap you can get it all. But yeah, it was so fun. They spent ages trying to work out how they could get the tallest tower. We did have a little competition with 2 teams. They could even just do it on their own. Like, can you try and get it higher than 10 centimetres or 20 centimetres or something? Lots of the children I look after love Minecraft, so I just printed out these pieces of paper with like squares on them, like little blocks like the Minecraft is, and some pictures that I found on Pinterest with like the blocks, and then they painted them in the right order, you know, and this kept them entertained for ages. They really enjoyed doing this. So this is a new game that I found this year. It's been brilliant. So I put tape down into 3 sections on the table, and then I had these little party bag prizes left over. I had bought earlier in the year this big bag from Amazon of like party bag fillers. It was like 72 for £13 or something, and I gave them a coin, and they had to stand at one end and push the coin onto the table. If it goes off the end, they lose, but if it gets into one of the sections with the prizes, they get that prize. Now you could do this with anything, like you could just do it with points. You don't have to have any kind of prizes, but if you wanted to get some like like a bag of sweets, like Starburst, for like what, £1.25, and they could you know, win one of those if they get into their into the right section. This was literally fun for all ages, for ages and ages. They had a great time. Oh yes, the age-old classic, the making a map. You get the paper, crumple it up a little bit, put on a like wet tea bag all over it to make it look very old, let it dry, and then draw your map. Like, I remember doing this as a child and thinking it was the best activity ever. Did it with my little one. She thought it was also brilliant. This is a really simple one. I always get in some food colouring. It is £1.50 a pot from Tesco, but it does last a long time. And this one's got a little pipette, and she's just doing some colour mixing, and she's got 2 colours, and she just really enjoyed this. Fortune tellers. Do you remember doing these as a child too? You can get free templates for these online. I got this lion one because I was doing this at church for Daniel and the Lion's Den, but you can get loads of different ones. You can get blank ones online, and they loved colouring this in and played with it for ages. Oh, you can see I've got a lion theme here. So Hama beads, yes, they are an outlay. This is not an under £5 activity. However, we had some kind of lying around that we hadn't used for ages, and when we saw these really cool designs, if you go on Pinterest, it's free, type in Hama bead designs, or I think in America they're called perla beads, so you might have to type that in, and you get loads of designs. And like this one looks really good with the black outline, and that was fantastic. People tend to have these lying around their homes, so you might even be able to like eBay it or Facebook Marketplace and see what you can get for cheap. This is one of our favourite activities, and you know, if you've got any Duplo or Lego, it's essentially a free activity. Making a zip wire. So we made these little, we tied a string from like from my curtain pole, and then we held the other side on the floor. They made these little zip wires with the people in, and had great fun sending the people down the zip wire. Also, if you've got any toilet rolls lying around, which everybody does, don't they? A great activity was we made a like ball run, but on the window. So we taped the toilet rolls to the window, worked out the different angles. It took us quite a while to like sort it out, so it was really good, and then put the balls down. It was really fun, and we could change the angle. So this was an activity that could last for a long time. And finally, for this instalment, it's washing babies. As you can see, there was a cuddly toy in there, which took quite a while to dry. I would not advise that. But any hard-bodied babies that you've got, put some towels there, water, a bit of soap, and that keeps them entertained. Well, I hope you found those useful, guys. I'd love to know in the comments any other activities that you have done or you intend to do that are that your children just love. So let me know down below. And thanks for watching. See you again soon. Bye.